Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. My name is Creekmur. I'm the Director of Advisory Services here at Creekmur Wealth. And in today's 5 Minute Finances, I just want to talk about a topic that's, quite honestly, it's not that sexy, but it's really important. And that's checking in on your financial goals. And it's one of those things that everyone wants to talk about. Hey, my portfolio made 10%, or you know what, I was able to actually save $15,000 on my tax returns this year because I did X, Y, or Z. Those are the things that everyone gets excited to talk about. But so often people aren't excited to talk about, hey, what are those big picture goals and dreams that you have? And I think it's really important that number one, we take time to actually develop our own financial goals. But then number two, we have a sounding board, a trusted advisor or a family member that we can sit down and actually talk to about those goals and help us think deeper about them and how we go about achieving them. Now, let's start with this though. How do you actually set a financial goal? Well, number one, every goal needs to have a dollar amount and a time frame associated with it. So, for example, let's say you have some student loan debt, right? Well, your goal could be, hey, I want to pay off $25,000 of my student loan debt in the next 2 years. Then, once you have a clearly defined goal, you're able to go in and say, well, okay, well, now how do I go about achieving paying off $25,000 of student loan debt in the next 2 years? And you actually put the pen to paper and develop a plan to go out and achieve that. What I so often see is that people say, hey, I want to save $1 million. That's great. We all want to have $1 million. But when? If you're saying, hey, I want to have $1 million in 10 years, and right now I have 200,000, well, that's going to drastically impact your actual execution strategy to go out and achieve that goal. Whereas if you said, hey, you know what, I'm 21 years old, I want to have $1 million when I'm 60, well, that's going to take a totally different game plan to go out and achieve those goals. And so having very clearly defined, well set financial goals is critically important to ensure that you can then develop the right strategy to help you go out and achieve them. Now, the other side of the coin, though, with setting goals is things in life change, right? Nothing, very few, I shouldn't say nothing, very few things in life are certain, right? And that's especially true with our financial lives, with the stock market, with the economy, our wages. None of that is certain. But we can generally recognize that sometimes as things change, we need to adjust our goals. And so, for example, right, I was only planning on having a certain amount of kids. Well, inevitably, just through life circumstances and talking to my wife, I ended up having an extra child that I wasn't planning on. And so I actually had to go back to the drawing board for my financial plan. And I had to say, all right, well, I'm no longer going to be setting aside college funds for 3 kids. I don't have 4 kids. All right. So if I'm going to do that, what needs to change in our financial life? And change happens. But it's important to recognize that when change happens, your goals need to change as well. And if your goals don't change, then the strategies that you're going to execute to achieve your goals may need to change. And that right there is where we need to come back to that trusted advisor or someone you can sit down with and have a good conversation about. What I so often see is that we get caught up in the busyness of life. And sometimes these aren't fun topics to talk about. Sometimes we walk through difficult changes, right? Someone unfortunately passing away or an illness. Those are tough conversations. They're emotional conversations. But I've seen it happen so many times. I've been working in this industry now for almost 15 years. So what I've seen is that taking the time to have the conversation, then go out and lay out a well data driven, well defined investment plan or income plan or tax plan will help you ensure that you stay on track to achieve those goals. And I see a huge difference between the people that take the time to have that hard conversation and the people that don't. And so what I would encourage you all to do is no matter where you're at, number one, make sure you have clearly defined financial goals. And number two, make sure you have that trusted advisor you can sit down with and actually walk through the pros and cons of various decisions. If you need to have a tough conversation, someone to hold you accountable, that's where that trusted advisor, that family member, or that friend, whoever it is, can step in and help you ensure that you stay on track to achieving those big picture goals and dreams. So thanks for the time, y'all. We'd love to help you. We'd love to be your trusted advisor. But also, I hope you learned something new today. Talk to you later.